After the chasing pack closed in rapidly on Vendée Globe leaders yesterday, Charlie Dahlin, Massif Prevoyance, and Sebastian Simon, Groupe du Breuil, the whole leading posse of 9 skippers are contemplating their next obstacle as they pass successively under Australia towards the longitude of Tasmania and the exit door out of an Indian Ocean, which has been mean and merciless. All will need to make maximum speed to avoid a growing area of high pressure which looks set to slow this top group. As such, there is a good chance that Dahlin, the long-time race leader, might rebuild some margin. Christian Dumard, the weather consultant for the Vendée Globe, explains, Charlie will pass before the wind weakens too much. The others will be forced to go north around the ridge of high pressure to the north. The gap between them will therefore widen a little from the middle of tonight. The skipper of Massif Saint-Prevoyance will then be forced to stay south and do multiple jibes, whilst the hunters behind him will have the chance to stay north and sail a more direct route. Along the way, Dahlin has just set a new record for the passage between the Cape of Good Hope and Cape Lewin. At 9 days 22 hours 27 minutes, he betters a 16-year-old record which was set by Michel Desjoyeuse when he was making en route to the second Vendée Globe win of his career. His super-rapid passage across the Indian Ocean, on something of a dream sequence of weather systems, saw him take the race lead on the 35th day of the race, after Mike Golding dismasted, during a brutal phase which saw successive race leaders, Loic Perrin dismasted, Jean-Pierre Dick hit something, and the Mike Golding dismasting. Second-placed Simon meanwhile reaffirmed his aim not to be hamstrung too much by the loss of his starboard foil. I'm hanging in there, I'm staying motivated. He said today, there was a lot of emotion at the time. I was asking myself why now? Why there? It's a tried and tested foil, it's a break that I can't explain. However, everything remains to be done. I hope the Pacific will live up to its name. I'd like to do a check-up on my boat, but for the moment it's impossible because the conditions don't allow it. Charlie will pass before the wind weakens too much. The others will be forced to go north around the ridge of high pressure to the north. The gap between them will therefore widen a little from the middle of tonight. In the Big South, the most direct routes are not always the fastest. Antoine Cornic, Human Immobilier, presently seems determined to demonstrate that sometimes staying south and fighting with the big lows pays a dividend, as it did for Louis Burton on the 2020-21 race, when he stayed south and sailed more directly, but had to fight with heinous conditions. His reward then was a temporary grip on the race lead. But for rookie Cornic it is going to be a very tough 24 hours with winds over 50 knots in the gusts and big seas. Meantime, after reporting cracking to the forward bulkhead of Medallia this morning, Britain Pip Hare had this afternoon completed her program of composite repairs, but was due to ease back and allow the repair to cure, whilst at the same time not lose too many hard-earned miles. Hare said this morning, the last 24 hours have been a really rough ride. Looking out at the sea state, it is still just a maelstrom. Last night when I was doing my checks, I discovered that I have a crack in one of my bulkheads forwards. It is not too bad, and I have found it very early.
Hello. We are on board Holcim PRB. Everything is going well. We had quite a tough night with a very strong wind and very short and bad sea state. We had up to 40-45 knots of wind due to a very kind of small secondary low, but very small system developing just on us almost. So it was a bit tough with very sharp waves. And now we are back with much better wind, like we have 25 knots of wind speed from northwest. So we are sailing downwind. The sea state is still a bit bad, but in the next few hours the sea state is supposed to be much better. We are sailing, so we are the black boat here towards Cap Lewin. We will be there I think in 2 days, around 2 days. So we are going to sail full downwind for a bit to something like Tasmania Island. So we will probably be in Tasmania, south of Tasmania, in 4 or 5 days or something like that. Yeah, everything is going well. Now the boat is doing good. We are still very close, just behind Jérémy Bayou, Charal. So for I think the last 2 weeks or maybe 3 weeks now, I don't know. We are very close each other. It's a bit funny. We also have a group of boats with Sam Goodchild, Paul Meyer and Yannick Bestaven, not far away behind us. So I hope we'll be able to gain a bit on them. But not sure. I think they are quite close. Well, we will see. Everything is going well, and for now, so much water on deck. And right now I'm going to have to try to have a nap. I don't know how I'm going to manage to have a nap, but I will try. Here. Bye bye, see you later.
Hello, you're joining me on a beanbag on the floor because right now the floor seems like the safest place to be, because if I'm already on the floor I can't hit the floor when the boat nosedives. And it's doing that quite a lot. So we low pressure passed over us yesterday, and now the wind's from the south, so I dived, and we're in the most intense area of wind behind the low pressure system. So average at the moment is 35 knots. I've seen 37, 38. No more than that. I think this is probably the windiest bit right now. Sea state's really built up. So we've got over 4 meter sea state. And it's a wild ride, really wild. Overnight I did take the foil in just so I could get a little bit of sleep, because I was trying to sleep with the foil out, and I just kept being shunted from one end of the boat to the other on my mattress. It was like mattress surfing, but I mean I don't really want to do that, so yeah, I had the foil in overnight, but then kind of once I've had a bit of rest, it's back out again. And of course I caught up with Roman, which is great. So I just want to keep a little bit of pressure on there. But this is a pretty extreme assault on the senses. I mean, it's not just the motion. The motion is hard, unpredictable. You know, I'm being thrown around a lot. It's exhausting, just kind of permanently hanging on. But then on top of that, you know, I've still got to trim the boat, I've still got to download weather, I've got to think through problems, I've got to make a strategy for the next few days, because this weather just keeps coming relentlessly, marching on. So, you know, this human being is being stretched quite far. I'm about to go and do a deck walk just to go and check everything's okay. I'm going to combine that with the weather download, because it's much easier to download the weather when the boat's flat. So I will take you outside and we can have a little look at the sea state. So we're out on deck now. It's amazing how actually the boat just calms down if you point it downwind, so I can have a good look around. So difficult. Look, there's an albatross there, look. So difficult to get scale here, to understand the waves and stuff, but I mean, whoa. Okay, enough of this. I need to check the boat and get going again. This is incredible. It's so incredible. What a place to be. What a boat to be here on.
Seul. C'est difficile de s'imaginer que on revient à la maison dans 2 mois et demi. Il a 20 nœuds, ça accélère petit à petit. On risque de se renforcer un peu au Cap Finistère. On va changer de voile, on va faire un peu de sport. Salut Justine. Et ouais, comme on se retrouve. C'est très bruyant, c'est usant aussi. Temps magnifique. Le bateau file, la mer s'est bien calmée. Sinon ça va, hein. Il y a juste mon lit qui me manque. J'ai le droit à un petit bonbon que j'ai trouvé dans la maille de foil. Merci l'équipe. Ah, le bateau Groupe Dubreuil a filé toute la nuit. C'est aidé de ces grains là. Et là, on est un peu dans une zone sans vent là. À cause du nuage avec la pluie là-bas. Et on avance à 3 nœuds et demi. C'est mieux que 0. On a ajouté la voile dans la nuit. Et depuis ce matin là, le bateau progresse à 20. Là on est à 25, 26, 27, 28, 28 et demi, 29, 29 et demi. Bon, c'est un peu une course jusqu'au poteau noir et surtout bien savoir où est-ce qu'on va se positionner pour le traverser. Nous sommes à l'entrée du poteau noir. Voilà, le poteau noir. J'ai pas l'impression de voir de nuages d'orage, mais dès qu'on sera bien dedans, ça va venir. On croirait qu'il fait beau, mais non, pas toujours. On a ajouté le poteau noir, on est dans les alizés du sud depuis ce matin. Le bateau file entre 20 et 22 nœuds, ça dépend. Là on est toujours au contact de ce petit groupe de leaders, donc ça fait du bien. Là on est dans le groupe de tête, les copains sont par là, un peu plus à l'est. Et ça fait plaisir, là on est déjà à 3 degrés sud. J'ai même pas remarqué cette nuit qu'on avait passé l'équateur, dommage. C'est pas la petite vidéo traditionnelle où on met le téléphone à l'envers. Encore des 24 heures battues en solitaire pour 580 000. Un peu plus de 24 de moyenne à bord de Dubreuil. Et c'est l'eau derrière moi, bord de Hoyer. Ah, et pour nous celui-là. Et pour nous. Et deuxième à bord de Dubreuil. Deuxième en vigueur. Et normalement demain à Delhi, Ligue. Et ici à Bonne-Espérance. On vient de passer le cap de Bonne-Espérance à bord de Groupe Dubreuil. Content à Delhi. L'équipe m'a caché pour le 1er décembre dans le bateau. Le calendrier de l'avant. Et là on est dans l'Indien. C'est tout calme. On vient de passer les îles Crozet. Ça fait du bien quand c'est calme aussi. Et on a une grosse dépression qui arrive derrière nous qui va nous prendre demain. Ça j'ai un peu moins hâte en vrai. Ça y est, le vent arrive donc la dépression est juste là. Et regardez ce magnifique lever de soleil. Quand on voit un temps pareil, c'est dur de croire que on va se faire taper dessus après. Hein. à bord de Groupe du Breuil. Cette nuit, on a cassé un foil. C'est vraiment très dur à encaisser, hein, je vous l'avoue, en parler me déplaît énormément. En tout cas, la course n'est pas finie, hein, je vais aller au bout. Et bien nous voilà au Cap Lewin. On vient de quitter l'océan Indien. Regardez, je vous montre. Très noir. Et le petit bateau là. Ça y est. On est en Australie, de l'autre côté du globe. On est à l'opposé des Sables d'Olonne. Malgré cette petite avarie, je lâcherai rien, je suis toujours aussi motivé. Des belles histoires de Vendée Globe avec un foil en moins, il y en a eu beaucoup. Donc voilà, on peut encore y croire et on n'est qu'à la moitié de la course. Donc il peut se passer encore énormément de choses. Donc je reste très motivé. Allez, à bientôt. Ciao, ciao.
Et de l'air. Hein. Et Rafale à 45 nœuds. Petit tableau des mers du Sud. Petit matin, juste après l'empannage. J'essaie de faire du nord le plus possible, mais faut quand même pas oublier qu'on va dans l'est. Normalement, on va dans le sud-est même. Faire attention de ne pas se faire mouiller. Et de l'air. Hein. Et Rafale à 45 nœuds. Et je suis content. On a fait notre manœuvre sans rien casser. Voilà, la gueule d'Eric content le matin. Allez, salut, bonne journée à tous.
Bon ben voilà. J'ai pris un grain à 75, la voile a explosé, elle est en dessous et tout là, c'est le bordel. Là je sais pas. En fait, entre le... Il y a eu le passage du front à la traîne. Il y a eu 75 nœuds d'un coup. Et tout a pété. Là, il n'y a plus. Voilà. Ok, bon, je vais ranger et contrôler. Ok.